स्टडी बड़ी सकते थे शुरुआत शुरू किया पागल दुनिया वाले थे पागलपन बोले तो नाम से स्टडी बड़ी सकते थे शुरुआत शुरू किया पागल दुनिया वाले थे पागलपन बोले तो नाम से Patna में Osho को I have arranged some of his meetings. In my own college, when I was a student, I have arranged meeting, and I have arranged his meeting in other places also. People were very much allured, chanted, listening to him, sitting in his presence. With his presence is powerful. The most powerful thing was his presence. Everybody sitting in his presence. I mean, a lot of people were not sensitive, but those who were sensitive, they used to feel some grace. They used to feel something transcendental. And meditators, they used to go into trance. They were sitting in presence for enough. His presence was so alluring and so magnetic, enchanting, that people used to enjoy his presence. Even the layman, they also feel very happy in his presence. And whatever he was speaking was also very, he had a much better command on Hindi language. That time he was speaking only Hindi. And everybody used to say that he's the best orator in that time. But the outcome, the result used to be not very significant, because after his series of lectures, when Osho will go out of the city, again people will be having the same routine, and they will not change, because there was no meditation center, there was no regular meditation. People used to meditate in his presence, 10-15 मिनट ध्यान उनके त्यसपछि केही हुन्थेन. Then also ashram चाहनुहुन्थ्यो, तर त्यो आश्रमको खोजमा आउनुहुन्थ्यो. तर त्यो आश्रम बन्यो पहिलो आश्रम, even for enlightened master, he has to wait 21 years after his enlightenment to have a small ashram in Pune, Mumbai. उसकोलाई नि enlightened भए तापनि उहाँलाई आश्रमको लागि 21 वर्ष प्रतीक्षा गर्नु. Tilpanama enlightenment became enlightened in 1953, and he had his first ashram. That's a small building, Lao-Tse house, in 74. Before that, in 70, he had an apartment, Woodland Apartment, 3-room apartment. He lived there from 70 to March 74. But that was a very good period, because he started giving sannyas. After, when he moved in June in Bombay, there was no idea that he will give sannyas. He always refused to become a master. He never wanted to initiate anybody. So there was no chance that he would initiate anybody and become a guru. But when he was conducting meditation camp in 70s, September in Manali, and speaking on Krishna Meditative, all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. That is still a mystery. He decided to initiate camp. And in that camp, he initiated about 9 to 10 people. And then sannyas started. After sannyas started, Osho came to Bombay and he cancelled all his engagements. His dates were pre-booked for whole next year. 71, he had full calendar booked for top programs all over India. The calendar is to get ready 2 years. 2 years, he had all booking. Every Sunday, every Saturday, he was booked for some city, some program. After giving sannyas, he came back to Bombay. He said, cancel all my program. Now I can travel. So all his programs were cancelled. He said, I will stay now, I have to stay, because I have started sannyas. So I have to work upon my people. So I will have to stay in one place. After a great request, he accepted that he will conduct 2 meditation camps in Montown, in hill station in Rajasthan, is close to Bombay. So we accepted that he will do 2 camps, 10-day camp in Mount Abu, one in month of April and another in month of October. The 2 camps of 10 days he will conduct in Mount Abu, and rest of the time he will be in his room. He start living in his room and stopped coming out of him. Okay. उसले भन्नुभएको छ किन त्यस्तो भनेको हिन्दीको लेक्चरमा गीताको अध्याय 14 बम्बईमै बोल्दाखेरि पुनामा बोल्दाखेरि मैले भन्नु किन म एउटै कोठामा बस्छु किन एयर कन्डिसन कोठामा बस्छु किन म कोठाबाट बाहिर निस्किन्न कि सन्यास दिएपछि त्यो आवश्यक छ भन्नु भने गुरुले शिष्यमाथि धेरै थरीको काम गर्नुपर्छ त्यस कारण मैले ठाउँमा बस्नुपर्छ He cancelled all his programs and he started living in a room. In Bombay early day, he was giving talks in Cross Maidan and Swami Ananda Hall. That one hall, Swami Ananda Hall, and there is a public place like Kurikhel, Cross Maidan. So he used to give lectures. In Cross Maidan, there used to be up to 50,000 audience. Listen to him. There was a great scarcity of money. Money was not coming from any source. And even to maintain his house, Woodland, sometimes there was no food supply. No rice, no vegetables. People were donating food, donating some people, sometimes gave some money, but it was very irregular. And in Cross Maidan also, they have to pay the municipality a fee for booking the Cross Maidan. And sometimes some friends will donate money for fee. But also one said that each time there was this Gujarati sannyasi, he is still alive. His name is Reru Bhai. He used to pay all the fee for the and it was heavy, very heavy on one person. But he had to pay every time. So he liked it. He said that now we should ask donation. People should donate to come to my lecture, they should donate. So after 71, there were few sannyasi. And sannyasi used to move with the crowd, collecting, asking for donation. There was donation box and we used to carry the donation box and ask for donation. From friends we were listening to the lecture. First day there was some donation, yes. But when there was a series of lectures on Gita, slowly people stopped giving donation. And even they had to pay small coins, no? And 2 rupees, 4 rupees. But no people are so miser and don't understand the value. So they stopped giving donation. So one day when all the boxes were collected, it was not enough even to pay the bill for the Cross Maidan. Cross Maidan को जुन बम्बे नगरपालिकालाई पैसा दिनुपर्ने त्यति पैसा पनि उठाएको थियो धेरै कम धेरै कम Osho knew that only, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was a very small amount which was collected. I know. Thousands of rupees has to be paid for the Cross Maidan to government spirit. And it was not also that people don't realize and they are not ready to pay. Then he said, from tomorrow I will never speak in public. So stop public speaking. See, they usually speaking in front of idiots. They don't ready to even pay 1 rupee for my lecture. So why should I waste my life? 50,000 people come. Even if they get 1 rupee, there could be 50,000. People were not ready to pay even 1 rupee. Also said from onward, I will not be very public. You know, also in the extremist, he said, now I will speak in Woodland in my library, and those who have to come to attend the lecture, they have to pay 100 rupees. In 70, 100 rupees was a big money in India. For listening also lecture. For religious lecture, 100 rupees was a big money. The people were not ready to pay that 1 rupee. Also they're like, अब मैं मुफ्त में भूलूंगा ही नहीं यहाँ से. अब जिनको सुनना है 100 रुपये दे के आएंगे, और जिनको नहीं आना है मत आओ. तो सबसे वो लाइब्रेरी में ढूंढते अपने लाइब्रेरी में, वुडलैंड में. And in Woodland Library, there could be only 40 people. Small. There was a small drawing room. Only 40 people used to accommodate. But 40 people, 100 rupees was 4,000. Per day, 4,000 rupees was enough to maintain the house that time. 4,000 पे वाला घर ही होती. 4,000 में खाना सब दे दिया. तो फिर उससे कहते हैं, इसलिए पब्लिक टॉप से बंद रहता है. सुनने वाला था. क्रॉस मैदान को. फिर પછી 2-4 टॉक में आपको भाई मोस्ट रिक्वेस्ट वन बेटा कि हम लोग से फीडबैक जोड़ा लेक्चर हो एक विदान स्पॉन्सर करे. It also give her life to give public talk among the people who don't understand, who don't value it. Especially वाले Woodland में बहुत राम हुए. When also stopped giving public talk, his lectures became very, very significant and it touched a height. Woodland में भगवान जो बोलो भाषा तो best books of Osho. जबरदस्त. Most meditative lecture also has given in Woodland because there were only 40 people to listen, and they were all serious. They had paid 100 rupees. But there were no idiots there. All serious people. You know, Sunday to that time in India was like not a small money. I'm talking of 71. जो सुनना होते उधर पैसा थे 100 रुपया दे रहा होते कुछ वाले चित्ते सुनाते वंडरफुल के विज्ञान तंत्र बोलना book of the secrets. Then also spoke sometime. Partly also the on five will last thing came out. So also the Tiage, Jin Kojatin Payan Kapuchan and September Woodland. I am the silent explosion. Or more significant of nation. More significant lectures also came in Woodland. Because audience was serious. Listeners were serious. Were sincere people, they had paid 100 rupees. They had to sit for 2 hours without moving, with giving total attention. So Osho lectures showed a very high, very, very high. All the lectures which are given in Woodland is very meditative, very, very powerful. Book of this secret just to kitab, mass में बोलने से मिलेगा. Alpha and Omega just to kitab, भीड़ में बोलने से मिलेगा. तो एक जना उठे लगा बने उसको बोलना सकता हूँ. More disturbed. There's a pin drop silence. एक जना ले खांच को परी ना होने, उठने परी ना होने. अब फिर तो audience found a mass में गया है. तो क्या ले? Osho ले गुरु. Best book बोलने वाला तो जब तक कम audience थी this book. Pune, his best book were produced in the early days when there was only 20 people. Then we joined. I joined also in 74 in Pune, but there were only 18 people. But how did I know and lecture almost? Sunday again manchi out. Sunday को भगवान को lecture करती राम को दिया. You know, when I used to Saturday. पर आप क्या manchi out. with no clear answer. So Sunday, when lecture, I suppose we were ready to accept that Sunday lecture will be not good because we were newcomers, not sincere people, not serious people. Out of curiosity, that time in Pune, when also started the lecture, the fee for lecture was 3 rupees. Indian rupees, 3 rupees the lecture. तो 3 रुपया में उसने किने राखने हो भने idiots नाउस मुफ्त में गरे पनि idiot हुनु पर्छ 3 रुपया राख्ने एकदम जो आवश्यक छ 3 रुपया दिएर आउने मान्छेहरू पनि सबै क्वालिटीको हुन्थेन त्यसैले सन्डेको उहाँको जो लेक्चर हुन्थ्यो त्यो डाउन हुन्थ्यो त्यसैले हाम्रो बोल्नुहुन्थ्यो र जुन बाँकी 6 दिनको लेक्चर हुन्थ्यो त्यो बडो किन हामी 18 जना मात्रै आश्रममा जम्मा 18 जना हुन्थे त्यसमा औषधले बोल्नुभएको छ महागीताको भागबाट त्यसमा भगवानले बोल्नुभएको छ by way of the white clouds त्यसमा औषधले बोल्नुभएको छ तन्त्र द सुप्रिम स्ट्यान्डिङ यस्तो हाइटमा बोल्नुभएको छ उसो जति कम अडियन्स whenever there was less people sincere people his lecture was a very high. After 77, crowd started coming to Pune. 77, after 77, there was a big hall, Buddha hall, and then the crowd started coming from all over the world, also became popular. So quality of his lecture went down. जति भीड बढ्दै गयो लेक्चर उहाँको कम हुँदै यो मैले उसो मनालीमा सोधेको थिएँ दिस क्वेसन आई हेभ आस्क्ड टु Osho. In Manali, same thing happened. In Manali, we were only 20 people with him. So he was just giving lecture of very high quality. One day, in Manali, what happened? That there were no audience except we ashramite, we were 18 people. And nobody was asking enough questions. So the questions were not of quality. So one day also said that the questions are not coming of quality. So he asked me, he said, tomorrow you prepare all the questions and I will answer only your question. One day, that privilege was given to me that Osho answered my questions only. And I told you that unfortunately I lost that audio because I have recorded that in on Walkman and that audio was lost. But after 27 years, this time in Haridwar, somebody gave me that lecture again. Because I have given him, he was in Manali, and I have given him a copy, that lecture. So he was keeping it. My lecture was get lost in Kathmandu and Pune destroyed that all my interviews. So they were not keeping in their guidance. But that friend was keeping it. And this time in Haridwar, after 27 years, I got back my lecture, that cassette, which I have asked Osho about 18 questions. He has answered one of my questions that day. But I have asked this question, Bhagwan, whenever you speak on a small audience, nobody will ask this question, but you need a sensitive eye and sensitive heart to understand these things. So I have asked that Bhagwan, whenever you speak in small audience, your lecture has a quality. Whenever you speak in a big audience, your lecture becomes down. Why? I will try to find out the answer in my iPhone. But the recording is not very good because it was done in small tape recording. You want to tell us? Sample together like Walkman. Walkman. When 80, this interview is of 80, 85. So 15 वर्ष, 14 वर्ष. 29 years old. 29 years old. Osho was also in good health. I was young. So you will surprise to hear the voice of Osho is also very fiery. Also pronounced disco. Sana question. The third word was spiritual. Very important question. Very important question मिलेगा actually. सुनो. Either the world will die or will change. These are the only two alternatives the world can choose. And I don't think anybody will choose that. Same content. Buddhism says that 200 enlightened people are placed around the world. The third great war should be avoided. Is right. And I am working on the ओशो को जीवन को एउटा महत्वपूर्ण उद्देश्य के छ भने third Great War. One of his projects is that he wanted to prevent third Great War, which was going to happen. The danger was there that it will happen. Osho has indicated that third Great War may happen, but he has never indicated the time when it will happen. But in this interview, when I had a privilege, we were only 8 people around Osho when this interview happened. There were a lot of people working in different departments. So we were only 8 people with a small gathering in Himalaya near the Pyas River in a sunny day outside in the lawn. A very intimate meeting with Osho. So Osho said something very significant. And he has, the first time, he declared that when this third war is expected, that was expected, also had mentioned the year. Then also he told me that he's trying to push it back as much as he can, push it. He cannot totally avoid it alone. He needs millions of sannyasi to meditate together to make it null and void. But he's trying to push it back as much. Same concept. Buddhism says that 200 enlightened people are placed around the world. Third Great War should be avoided. He is right. And I am working on the same number. बहुत गहिरो लेक्चर छ भगवानले बडो इन्टिमेट ग्यादरिङमा 5-7 जनाको बीचमा बोल्नु भएको छ. So you will have to be very sensitive to understand it. And don't take it casually. Try to understand what Osho is saying. It's very significant and very important.
तो बोली स्वामी जी के तो बीच को
क्वेश्चन मैले गरेँ र आवाज त्यो लाग्दा फेरि त्यो वाकम्यानमा छ त्यो आवाज पनि रिभरको खोलाको आवाज आइरहेको छ. त्यो अरू डिस्टर्बेन्सहरू छ. त्यो रेकर्डिङ स्टुडियो त्यति राम्रो थिएनै थिएन. लनमा बसेर क्वेसन गरिरहेको छ. गाउँमा जाडो थियो. गाउँमा चेयरमा उसो बस्नुहुन्थ्यो. हामी उहाँको 5 तारिक बस्थे. त्यस कारण क्वालिटी चाहिँ लेक्चरको त्यति राम्रो छैन. अदाजीले चाहिँ धेरै सफा गर्नुभएको थियो. पहिला त्यो अडियो थिएन. धेरै सफा गर्नुभएको छ. सुन्न सकिन्छ. त्यति सपोर्ट छैन. त्यसमा यो नम्बर छ. ओसो यो दुईजनाको दुईटा there are 2 enlightened people and they have 2 different opinions. Vivekananda had a vision that if he had 100 people this world can be changed. 100 enlightened people can change this world. The Gurdjieff has an opinion that 200, 100 is not enough. Because at the time of Vivekananda, the world population was only 1 billion. And when Gurdjieff happened, it was more than 3.5 billion. Now it is 7.5 billion. So maybe that just I expect that maybe is the reason. So I have asked the first question that Vivekananda has said that if 100 people he will change the whole world. But he died frustrated, he could not get 100 people. Gurdjieff said that if I get 200 people, I will make them enlightened, and the 200 people times, then we can avoid the third dead war. So that's why my question. Also has given some of the very significant insight.
And we are coming closer. But soon we will be able to declare.
अनि परिप्रेक्ष्य बुझ्नुहोस् अनि व्यक्तिले 7 दिन अगाडि कस्तो जेलमा हुनुहुन्थ्यो. Just 7 days before he was in American jail. He was just released from American jail and he flew to Delhi, and next morning he flew to Manali. So just 7 days before he was in great torture, and we were also in great pain. And everybody was frustrated that time because Rajneeshpuram was destroyed, also was put into so much torture. So, and sannyas movement has suffered a lot. So, except Osho, everybody was frustrated. वहाँ को आवाज में त्यतिकै टनक छ. So, वहाँ को आवाज में, but he is full of confidence. Although his city was destroyed, he was put into prison. His movement is destroyed. So everybody was frustrated that time except Osho. उहाँको आवाजमा त्यतिकै तनक छ, त्यतिकै जोश छ, र त्यतिकै आशा छ. हामी सबै निराश थियौँ. Whole Osho community was hopeless that now nothing is going to happen except Osho. He was full of vigor. You can listen and you can realize in his word.
What Gurdjieff could not do. When people are preparing for 200 enlightened people, it is the right movement. The world is coming closer, and the 200 people became enlightened. That movement is coming closer. It was not possible in Jeff's time. Even if we had made 200 people enlightened, the Third World War was far away. We died in 1950. The Third World War will happen somewhere near 1999. There is time. And we can put a start to it.
In context, you answer one good question that I am doing the same work of Sripuri Baba, what we wanted to do in Nepal. And that time, the time was not right. The time is right. But what was that work which we wanted to do in
All the enlightened people are doing the same work. The work is that man has come from animals. Charles Darwin may not be literally true, but essentially is true. That man carries much animality in him. And the only way to drop that animality is to create something higher in man which can see the animal. Man as such cannot see it. He is engulfed by it. So all the enlightened people have been doing the same thing. Create a point of witnessing that the man can become aware how much is animal in. And the miracle is the moment you become aware of it, it disappears. Awareness is enough for its disappearance. The work is the same. Buddha, Shivpuri Baba, Pujya, the work is the same. But we are in a better position than others. The third world war is going to destroy the whole humanity. The humanity has to think someday that its animal instincts drop. Because those are the instincts that create war and anger and violence. There is no other way except meditation. To find something higher in you, bigger than you, more luminous, so that the darkness disappears. We are in the most opportune moment in the whole history of man. And if we fail, the whole humanity and all its efforts fail with us. And it is not a simple failure. It is not only our failure. This whole universe is dead, except this small earth. If this earth also dies, the whole universe loses life and consciousness, which takes millions of years again to produce life and then consciousness, then a Buddha. So much is at risk that I don't think humanity will decide to commit suicide. Just we have to spread meditation as far as possible. That's why I have dissolved any religious celebration so that a Mohammedan can meditate and still remain Mohammedan. So Mohammedans don't feel any fear from us. A Hindu can remain a Hindu and still meditate. To make meditation available to all without any condition, whether he is Hindu, Jew, Christian. I had dropped the idea that we are a new religion. Out of compassion, I have dropped the whole idea. We are only a meditation movement. Anybody can participate. And the beauty is that if somebody meditates, sooner or later, his Mohammedanism will disappear, his Hinduism will disappear. They cannot remain with meditation. So why bother about their Hinduism and their Hinduism? when we have a secret which will automatically disperse all darkness in their minds. And I want meditation to become almost universal. And it can become universal only if it is not attached to any religion, to any politics, to any ideology. And it is not. It is a simple method. Even an atheist can do it. There is no problem. We don't ask him to believe in God. We don't ask him to believe in anything. We simply ask him that here is a method. You can try. Hypothetically, if you find something good, if you don't find, drop it. And anybody who has tried meditation has never come empty-handed back.
In good hands, you were speaking to a small group of seekers, and you gave the rare books like Din Khojati Pioneer, the Book of the Sacred, मैं मिठू सिखाता हूँ योगा the alpha and omega, to transform the consciousness of the universe. Later on, talking to the comparatively big masses, you were giving your insight more on social, economical, political, moral and religious issues. Recently, you declared that you will live with a small group of sannyasi money. Will you take us into the subtle and significant dimension of inner transformation?
Certainly.
Was no more question? Sir, did you got the question? Smaller the audience, better is the lecture quality. Bigger is the audience, more idiots are there. And also, a orator has to speak to the lowest person who can understand. So the lecture's quality goes very low. And also speaks to the great mass. He has to come down very low so that even the lowest denomination can understand. So I have asked this question that when you are giving in Woodland, it's smaller, in a small community, the quality of lecture was so high. Also said yes.
Because no, it's not beef.
This will be the last lecture. 5 minutes you have to be present. After 5 minutes, I will close down the discourse. So just be present for 5 minutes. Next slide. I know limitation of your presence. I will take care of that.
In good hands, you were speaking to a small group of seekers, and you gave the rare books like Din Khojati Pioneer, the Book of the Sacred, मैं मिठू सिखाता हूँ योगा the alpha and omega, to transform the consciousness of the universe. Later on, talking to the comparatively big masses, you were giving your insight more on social, economical, political, moral and religious issues. Recently, you declared that you will live with a small group of sannyasi money. Will you take us into the subtle and significant dimension of inner transformation?
Certainly. Because no, I will not be creating a big community. Because that takes much of the effort.
Rajneeshpuram, after destruction of Rajneeshpuram, Osho had decided that he will not create a big community. Because this community takes a lot of energy and it becomes an eyesore in the eyes of unconscious people. So Osho has first time declared this lecture, but now on he will not make big communities, small communities.
small group of 50, 60 people. People can come and go, stay, but it will never be more than 100 people. So I can talk to them on more secular grounds, on deeper layers of things. And all that will be available to all the communities and all the worlds. But my difficulty is, as it has always been the difficulty of my type of people, I cannot write. For the simple reason, it is as if writing a letter to no one. What you can write to no one. I can only talk because there is a responsible answer. These 50 people will be the closest to us with absolute open, receptive, responsive. So I can say anything that masses won't understand immediately. And then these things can be spread to the communes by tapes, by verses, and then to the wider masses. But I feel it now more to go into the secrets. And that is possible only with people who are willing to go with you. So these 50 people will not be 50 in fact. It will be almost one consciousness. With whom I will be in communion. I don't think there will be a big commune around me. Big communes will be around the world, everywhere. But around me will be only a children. Because bigger the commune, then you have to chant to those people also who are not so receptive, not so forgiving. Now I want just a small group which is utterly full. So I can pour my faith totally without any hindrance. And this will be the peak of my work.
Any question remain unanswered on good three of possessing finance of the state. We will start taking the question in our free.
Friend, I must respect your patience and close this cassette here because it is very significant and something very esoteric which you cannot pay attention for a long time. So let's do something else. Some other day we huh? He said yes, I will do that.
I don't think there will be a big commune around me. Big communes will be around the world, everywhere. But around me will be only a children. Because bigger the commune, then you have to chant those people also who are not so receptive, not so. Now I want just a small thing, which is utterly, so I can pour my being totally without any hindrance. And this will be the peak of my work.
Any questions? You may answer on those three of the Bajaj finance process. We will start taking the questions when you are free. One, what is your message for the sannyasi and lovers around the world who are thirsty of your darshan and your mind?
Soon it will be settled. Once I settle somewhere, then people can come in groups and remain engaged with me and then go back to their home.
Take a small break, refresh yourself, and then we'll do short meditation.